welcome to Getting to Know You. What is that? That's a video series that we're doing with our contributing authors for the Win the Wellness War, which is the second book. We Are Responsible. It's the second book of the All Things Wellness book series. Book one came out last year, The Fourfold Formula. You can find it on Amazon. This is book two, and it will be out on Flag Day, which makes a lot of sense. The reason that we did this book called WAR, the acronym is WAR, is that we really feel we're in a place in society right now, and this is in general in life, to take responsibility for your health, your wellness, your lifestyle, whether you want to keep your profession, whether you want to move to Costa Rica. Take responsibility, because ultimately you have that ability. If you wanted to quit your job right now, you honestly could, and you'd figure it out. And I wanted to introduce to you not only the authors in the story teasers that we did, where they read a little bit of their story that will be published in this compilation book that Dr. Marcus Wettstein and I are writing. So it's not only to just tease you with their stories, but this video series, which you can find on my All Things Wellness Media YouTube or my website at allthingswellness.com, is for you to get to know them, but also for them to say, hey, this is what I need from you. So for instance, if we have authors that are lawyers or virtual assistants or coaches or physicians, or even moms at home or recovering addicts, whatever they are, what services or things that they bring, a passion, their message that they're trying to get out there, let you know what they can bring to the table, but also for you to reach out to them and say, hey, you said you want to speak? Let's go ahead. I've got an opportunity, or I want somebody to open for me, or I know somebody at TED Talk. And that's how we build relationships. That's how we build a sense of community. That's how we're going to change and save the world, is together through our stories, through being transparent and authentic to who and what we are, and who and what and where we want to go, if we know, and if we don't, being willing to lean on others and create a tribe. And this all sounds woohoo, woohoo, but I'm telling you, relationships are where it's at. We were meant to share our lives with other living, breathing things. There are a few things you need in life: food, clothes on your back, roof over your head, and a sense of belonging and feeling loved. So that's what this video series is for them to share with you and you get to know them. But also, if you guys can connect and do other things to change and save the world, oh my gosh, I can't wait to sit back and watch everybody connect with each other. So stay tuned, and let's go check out what these guys have to say to you. We get together with the authors, and we just, in this section of promoting the book, Win the Wellness War, we want to get to know them, figure out why and how they want to get their message out there, and how you guys connect. That's what this is all about, is building relationships and collaboration. So this video today is to figure out what these guys do. And that's pretty much it. Have some coffee and make you laugh after I stick in some crazy music. Hi, Gina. Hi, Alysia.
Hi, Peggy.
Hey, you guys. So I've known you for about 1.5 years, and I know you have a previous life, and I know you have a professional resume. And Alysia heard me say this the other day. I'm really trying to capitalize on everybody's personal resume, because that's where the stories are. It still pulls in all that other stuff that we've ever done, but that's what makes people connect. So Alicia's actually holding a mug. It's a unicorn mug that I sent her over 1 year ago. That is one of my favorite unicorn mugs. I think I have like 20 of them. And I just saw it and I'm like, oh my gosh, you took me like right back. And I said, I love that mug. She goes, you gave it to me. I'm like, I know, but my stuff has been packed away so long from trying to get back in my house from the hurricane. So let's get started. Both of you are coaches. Yes. Both of you align with energy and helping people and lifting them up. Both of you work on self-care and self-discovery, and you've done a lot of work. So you are massive contributors to society, seriously. So let's talk, Gina. In the last 1.5 years, what has shifted for you in a way that you want to help people, personally, professionally? What shifted for you since you became an author?
Yeah, getting back to basics, really. Because what I do, I bring it back into the body. As you know, I started my healing practice through body work. But when you go on this inner journey, an ascension journey, there is so much to our unseen design of our body that people have no sense of what that is and how our body relates to it and how it shows up in your physical life.
Yeah.
And manifest it. So what I'm witnessing, all these people talking about manifest this, manifest that, which is beautiful, but they have no strong sense or foundation of what that really means and what you are really working with, and from an energetic perspective.
Yeah.
And that's
Positive and negative, right?
yeah, yeah. And we are always manifesting
Mhm.
consciously and subconsciously. When you can bring all of that into, excuse me, into purpose every single day and recognize how you start your day and your mindset every day, your thoughts, actions, as those align more and more, your life gets easier. That
Yeah.
chaos of our external world does not impact you the same way, meaning like if you're a highly sensitive person, or empathic, or you work with the public constantly. Like I was in the first responder field, as many of you know, with law enforcement in a non-sworn position. You're inundated constantly, not just by the public, but also your internal world.
Mhm.
How do you manage that? That's being hit with you, instead of closing down, which is the common way, right? Now, first responder fields and really everyone, I find they're learning like, oh, you know what? My mental health matters.
Yeah, exactly.
My emotional health matters. But that is part of a bigger divine order that we're all part of in our human ascension and waking up to living with our values,
Exactly.
living more heart-centered, more creative, and
Well, and
doing
hanging out with like-minded people, I think, Alysia, the referral type thing, I hate that word because it's so like corporate America, but the way that everybody chats about their experience with something like this, writing together or blogging together or meeting together, it's so much like coffee talk, like, hey, come to coffee with us at 10 o'clock on Saturday. And you start sharing more about what you do and what your purpose is, and it starts to rub off. It's why like-minded people make a really big difference, positive or negative. Thank you, Gina. I just have a question for Alysia. You've been in this whole world, authorship and coaching business, entrepreneur. How have you changed in the last year and a half as to how you either help the world or yourself?
Well, I find it interesting that's the route that Gina went down. Gina actually coached me as I won her coaching session. I think, and then our coaching schedule was scheduled the day that I lost my job, right?
Oh,
Wasn't
that's
that what
right.
we talked about?
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
And Alysia, we met each other the day you lost your dad.
Yes.
That very first meeting we
Yeah.
had together.
Yeah. And the interesting thing about all of that connection is that I was just at a coaching conference last week or week before last, and they were talking about grief and how grieving is that when you lose something, we don't even like to use the word lose because you don't own the person to begin with. But when you lose this person, it's actually making there's space now for something else to come in. So it was like you came into my life the day that my dad left, and you came into my life the day that my job left. And so I think that's cool. But the thing that's changed for me personally is that I have actually started listening to myself. So a lot of what Gina was talking about, like I've literally I have to tell this story that I've been scared of spiders since I was 3 years old, or probably, who knows, like birth, like that's the earliest memory that my mom told me that I was afraid of spiders, because I wouldn't let her go to bed until she vacuumed all of the Fido from my room. And like, literally she was working 30 hours a week, single mom of 3 kids, taking 18 units at Fresno State, and stuttering, and her eye is twitching because she's so stressed out. And I wouldn't let her go to bed until she vacuumed my room to get rid of all those spiders. So greatest mom award goes to. And, I was telling this story to one of my friends, and she said, you know that you're a spider, right? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she said, spiders are life weavers, and you're a life weaver through my son, through surrogacy, and it was like, and I said, so I've been afraid of myself my whole life.
Mike,
And I literally like I can feel tears now, like tears just immediately streaming down my face. Like,
super awesome metaphor that better be in the next something that you write. I mean, that's pretty cool. Oh my
yeah.
God.
And the reason that this topic came up was because I'm not afraid of spiders anymore. Like, I went through this coaching program where just deleting all of your limiting beliefs and all of your things that aren't serving you. And I was like, I don't know how being afraid of spiders was that big of a deal. I mean, like, honey, can you come kill this? Or, and he'd come get it, right? Like, it wasn't impacting my life all that much. And a friend of mine said, well, now you know that you can get rid of any fear.
Mhm.
But bigger than that, now I'm not afraid of myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that, because we keep talking about this word net weaving. You know, Gina and I had heard that from Dennis Pitoko, and I keep stealing it because networking is such a whatever, right? But the weaving thing really makes me think about how we all connected. And I swear, I want to write 50,000 compilation books with kids and homeless, everything for the rest of my life. And it's mostly because it's not because it's my aha that we have stories. Duh, we all do. It's that I really learned of how much we help each other, and the commonality of that, and the strength you get from that, and the protection and the love with sharing those stories, that sense of community that's so addictive. It's like my drug right now. And so when you just said that weaving, I was literally picturing a spider with all this light shining, because their webs, like, stop it right now. There is no engineer on the face of this planet or interior decorator that can even hold up to a spider web.
Yeah.
Right?
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Alysia, I'm going to stay with you for a second. So as you've started writing more and more and more and more and rekindling it, which you've done for decades, what is your message right now? Do you have a specific niche, a specific message you're working on? What does it look like over the next 12 months?
Yeah, so I work with moms. I'm very passionate about moms. I'm a mom. I have an amazing mom. And I really think that the best thing for our planet is to have happy moms, because happy moms raise happy children. And so the thing that I think makes us as moms unhappy is that we don't understand what creates peace, or more importantly, what steals our peace. And so people, emotions, assets, chaos, and exhaustion when those things are out of control, our peace is not under control. And so
Absolutely. So you have support groups, you have a blog, you have a podcast. And as I said before, we're going to put your contact information in the comment section. And I just would open up to anybody watching or listening, is that be ready. Because when you put yourself out there and you really are doing it from a heart-centered place, all of a sudden the phone's ringing, the email's ringing, you're meeting people, you're going to conferences. And so Alicia's ready and wants to help you guys. And there's no judgment on what any of us or any human beings do for a living, where we've come from, what we're struggling with right now. My youngest son is, a year and a half sober. And he's telling his story, and he's writing right now, and he's making a difference with 20-year-olds. Did we think he was going to be okay a year and a half ago? No, absolutely not. But it's stories like that. Just put it out there with no judgment. I mean, Gina, where do you see yourself in the next year with what, you're doing and want to do?
Oh gosh, I see myself having more group.
You took away your image. I can't see your beautiful face. There might be a reason.
No, there was no reason. I'm afraid to step out. No, really stepping further into group classes and teaching it, because there's something that happens when you have a cohort together, when you're working with the energetic principles of the body, because your life changes, and so that's where I see myself more doing that and go, here's my live class, come join it. Here's a hybrid class, come join it. And then ultimately is to take people to sacred sites and to land. So it really integrates it where you connect to the land in a totally different way because it supports your transformation.
You're moving to Sedona. No, I'm just kidding.
You never know. I might become one of those people that hop. I'm here now, then here now.
Yeah. You could.
But it brings in that exactly what Allison's saying, like when you can use the symbolism and metaphor of that spider and go, oh my gosh, I am that. And your whole world opens up. And I've had my own experience because that's a shamanic practice. When you use that symbolism of life, the archetypes around us and go inward with that to really know yourself, because that's where, for me, where we're all going to know ourselves as a soul and return to oneness.
Yeah.
So it's all these transitions in consciousness that all these realms exist within you all the time. So that's where I see myself in humbling people up and being like, bring it back down. Don't go so far off the planet because you have to be grounded in it to do the light work I feel all of us are here to do. And it shows up in your unique expression. So that's where I see myself doing. So I started doing more on YouTube. And so my latest thing was going a little deeper, but keeping it very focused on our pillar of light. And that was the last thing I did for about an hour and a half. And we kind of broke down the depiction. There's different depictions that artists have created on our the divine chart of ourself.
Yeah. Okay.
And what we're connected to and integrating energetically. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's happening to all of us.
And that's where you see yourself headed, is the group stuff. Cool. Alysia, where do you feel the gap is, or the area that you want to learn more this year, how you're going to reach out to keep elevating yourself? Have you identified any spot? I mean, we're always discovering, but any spot, even if it's marketing or who might reach out to connect with you, what do you feel like? Is there a spot?
The first word that came to my mind is speaking. It's probably the only thing that I haven't done is live speaking, and because I've done the written word, I've done podcasts, and I'm branching out on TikTok.
I love TikTok.
I have resisted TikTok for so long, and there's a couple of prankster videos my son's put on. Like, he created did you see it?
No, but I hate to say this, but that's where I get all of my news. Because why? Because it's not, the government doesn't control it. It's real people, real feelings. I mean, I've been hovering in there for 2.5 years. So that's where you're going to kind of branch out, as in a different platform, a different way, and then get into the speaking. So if somebody wanted to either help you, we could have them reach out to you, and we'll put your contact information. Is that okay? We'll get your information there. What about you, Gina? Where do you feel some growth? Where's the spot? I mean, right.
I would love to do more public teaching and just lecture and get the dialogue going, because I realize I light up when I start talking. And as you see, even in my writing, all of a sudden it just hits this turning point and it just keeps going. And
that's so true.
Because I realize I just need to talk. I need to be on the other end teaching and talking about this stuff. And so I'm happy to collaborate with anyone that wants to take a deeper dive and say, hey, we want Gina over here about sound healing or body work, or what is that design we're working with? What is the cosmic rays that are inside us?
Yeah.
And bring it down to a tangible place for people. I just want to get out there. And so that's one of the things, is just talk more and get in front of people.
And I think that's what is, we're all getting to that place, especially here in the room, is that, I think I said this the other day, but when you're in the professional side and you're in the side where you're helping or serving others, right? You don't see many doctors and lawyers and Indian chiefs and coaches stand up and go, hey, I'm a shit show, but I'm here to help you. I mean, there's a very fine line where we kind of dance. And I think we're shifting. I know we're shifting now, where people are realizing, like, why did you ever think you're not a real human being? Like, and I love that. And by doing these things that we're doing, it's not only to say, hey, here are the authors and what they do, but it's like, this is what they need and what they would love support in, and it's this cyclical kind of building and bonding.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, because Alysia is a big deal, she's got back-to-back, conversations to have with other people. So we're going to keep this one short. We're going to put all the information in the comment section of all these platforms. And ladies, I mean, shine so bright. And if it dims whatsoever, reach out to someone else, because we'll light that biatch right back up. All right. I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for showing up, and I appreciate you both very much.
Yeah.
Bye.
Good to see you. Bye.
Bye.